So let me tell you my anal herpes story. So I'm over on Fire Island. I'm hanging out. You know, we're at this foam party. It's like a bar that, like, they have this, like, little sectioned off area where, you know, fucking everybody's fucking getting crazy and everybody's hammered. And they fill foam up to the ceiling. So at one point I started feeling, I'm like, you know, let me just duck down low and I'll just start pinching everyone's asses. I didn't care whose asses I was pinching. Dudes, chicks, let me just pinch everyone's asses. So a couple minutes later, I was outside, I was smoking a butt, and this girl came out. She's like, "Did you pinch my ass?" I'm like, "I definitely pinched your ass." So I told her I was working as a plumber over there at Ocean Beach. She's like, "Well, let me see your shop." So we went back to my shop, and madness happened. I was bending her over the sink in the bathroom, and shit was getting crazy. She was writing on the board of things to do. I'm in love with Joe Wolkoff, you know, so she wanted to go back to her house. She's like, "Listen, I want you to come back to my house. I want you to fuck me in the ass." I'm like, all right. If this is going to happen, I got to go into fucking town, and I got to get fucking at least a full pizza, or half a pizza. Because if we're going to fuck this girl in the ass, I want shit to get a little bit crazy. You know, like, I want to have some pizza to eat. So I went into town with the girl, and I'm walking back to her house. I have a half a pizza, you know, I'm like, gotta have a pizza. This hot chick wants me to fuck her in the ass. So I'm walking with her and I'm holding her hand, and all of a sudden she just like disappears. She's just gone. So I'm like, I'm all fucked up. I'm like, you know, now I work in this town. You know what I mean? So all I see, now granted, I'm telling you the truth here. All I do is tell the truth. I look on the floor and all I see is like her clothes lined out. Like her jeans, her underwear, her socks, her top. And like, I don't want to start screaming her name, so, because I work in the town, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo. I got no response. I tried that for about like 45 minutes, and I'm like, you know what, man? I guess I just gotta go home. So I grabbed my pizza. I pretty much like attach it to a rope. I just start towing it. I gotta go back to my boss's house, who lived like 3 miles away. I tore that fucking pizza through the fucking sand. I got back to the house, start crunching into this pizza, like the shells are like breaking my fucking teeth off. Like, that fucking bitch. So anyway, this is where the anal herpes comes in. So the next morning, I go to take a shit in the morning, and I go to make poops, you know, like, and like I've had mad beers and mad pizzas, so like, it's like kind of like a bathroom faucet, like, I go to shit, and like, all of a sudden, oh, I start feeling like a pain in my asshole. I'm like, wait. That's not right. Well, that's not right. So now, at the time, I was living in my buddy's house over in town on the mainland. Like, Fire Island's like Fire Island, and like, you have the mainland. So I'm staying at my buddy's house, and like, he went away for like, this is right before 4th of July. He went away for like 5 days, and he's like, "Joey, I'm going to leave you these 5 bags of Molly. Sell them, you know, like, and give me the money. Don't ever leave me drugs and let me give you the money." So I don't know how much I had left. It was maybe like a gram or 2. So I felt like this pain in my asshole. I'm like, oh my God, this is brutal. So I had this pet rat. So I went upstairs with the pet rat, and I started talking to the pet rat, because as you do on drugs, you talk to little tiny animals. I was like, "Yo, what's going on, Bo? Do I have something wrong with my asshole? Am I going to die?" So I bombed this gram of Molly. And I'm sitting there, you know, I'm rolling my balls off, spitting out cavities, like, having a great time. And I started coming off the drugs, you know what I mean? Like, I put my little bandana on my rat. He's having a good time. He's running around on fucking dominoes and Cool Whip. And, like, gee, he's getting nuts. So I start coming off these drugs. And, like, this is the one thing you do if you think something's wrong with you. Never go on WebMD. So I went on WebMD, and I was like, pain in my asshole. After unprotected sex, I didn't put in some slut bag from Fire Island. All of a sudden, it starts flashing on the screen. Anal herpes. So I'm rolling my balls off. I'm like, Oh my God, I have anal herpes. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I start like looking up like dating sites for like people that want to date me with anal herpes. Cause like, yo man, I have a fucking anal herpes. So I'm sitting there, I'm feeling my asshole. I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, there's definitely bumps there. And then like, I look on WebMD and like, it says that like, you definitely have bumps. It's definitely painful. It's definitely a rough thing. So I'm like, listen, man. The only way that I'm going to fucking be able to handle this is to go to the hospital. Now, I was kind of in a little bit of cahoots with my parents, so I was like, you know what, man? Let me finish this whole gram of drugs. And like, you know, normal people only take like a half a gram of Molly, but I was like, let me bomb this full gram, and then I'll call my parents. So I bombed the full gram, and I called my parents, and I haven't talked to them in like 2 years. I'm like, hey, Mom, Dad, listen, I go to the hospital. I think I have anal herpes. I caught a disease from a girl on Fire Island. I hear my mom like, what? I hear my dad in the background, what do you mean he has anal herpes, you know? So my parents come and they pick me up. And now at this point, I'm like really fucked up. I feel like $1,000,000. I mean, like, if you ever take a Molly or ecstasy, like, you feel so good. Oh, I'm like touching myself. My mom picks me up. She's like, you okay? I'm like, oh, I feel so good. So they take me to Good Sam, a hospital on Long Island here. I go into the waiting room, and there's a guy behind a desk. And I walk up to him and like, you know, like, listen, man, I'm not going to go to fucking the hospital and tell them that I have anal herpes sober. But I figure maybe drunk me might be okay. But like, listen, man, I bombed mad drugs. So I woke up there. I remember like fucking looking at like the ceiling fans. And like all the ceiling fans I think were like stationary. But everything's spinning around. And he's like, what seems to be the problem, sir? And I was like, I think I have anal herpes. What'd you say? I was like, I think I have anal herpes. Oh, man. I went out to the waiting room, and needless to say, there's plenty of fucking room out there. I had elbow room. Everyone was like, do not sit next to the dude with anal herpes. So I remember sitting there, I'm like, I felt so good. I was spitting out full Twinkies out of my mouth. I remember looking at the triage people, and the triage people are like nurses, you know what I mean? They take care of you. And there was like one that looked like Broomhilda, one like the fucking grandmother from goddamn fucking Matilda, you know, Miss Trenchpole. And then there was like this Paris Hilton looking chick. So I was like, oh my God, I really hope I don't have that fucking really hot chick. So naturally, they call me into the hot chick. I go and I sit down. Now this is where I didn't calculate everything correctly. I go and I sit down with the hot chick. And what they did was they hooked my arm up to that fucking thing. They hook it up to the thing. I'm sitting there in the chair. I'm like, I hook it up. And she's like, are you okay? Are you sure you're feeling all right? I'm like, oh God, I feel good. I feel so good. I can swim across the fucking bay right now. I can swim across the fucking bay. She's like, well, your heart rate is like 390 over 100 or whatever the fucking case may be. All of a sudden, the security guard gets right up in my face. Right up in my face. He's like, did you do any drugs last night, son? I'm like, well, I did a small amount of cocaine. Meanwhile, man, I ate more goddamn Molly than anybody's supposed to take. You know what I mean? I'm terrified about my asshole. So they triage me and yada yada. Now I'm with my mom and my dad. My mom and my dad are in the fucking parking lot. You know, oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. They're in the waiting room. So they're finally about to take me into the, like, you know, the serious area. Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on. All I know is I feel like $1,000,000, you know. So they take me into like the main area and they take me into like the room. They lay me down on the bed. So I'm laying down on the bed, you know what I mean? Like, I got my pants pulled down, my asshole spread open. I just want this woman to come in and tell me, like, you have anal herpes. You have to get into a dating site where people actually want to love you for your anal herpes. All of a sudden, like, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting with my asshole spread open. And, like, it's a very awkward moment, but I really don't care because, you know, like, I know I have anal herpes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to accept it and make it part of my life. Just like when you get cancer or AIDS or some shit like that. So I'm sitting there with my, look, I got my asshole spread open. All of a sudden my mom just peeks the curtains open. She's like, Joe, do you want us to come in there with you? Because your father shit his pants in the truck. And there's shit everywhere and we gotta go. Are we fucking serious? My life couldn't get any more fucked up. I'm sitting here, I think I have anal herpes. And Dad shit his pants in the truck. Just get out of here. Just leave. Leave me here. So they leave me there. My mom leaves. So I'm sitting there, you know, like, ooh, 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 ooh. Asshole spread open. All of a sudden, this old nurse walks in. And she starts feeling around in there. You know, and she's like, well, I really don't know. I was like, just fucking tell me I have anal herpes. I don't fucking care. Just fucking tell me I have anal herpes. So she leaves and she comes back. And she starts really fisting me. She's like, well, I think it's a hemorrhoid, but I'm really not that sure. I was like, lady, you can stick a fucking baseball bat in there. Just fucking tell me I have anal herpes so I can move on with my life. She comes back in. I don't even know what the fuck she was sitting in there. She's like, you have a hemorrhoid. You have a hemorrhoid. So I was pretty happy, man. I got a fucking hemorrhoid. So the super hot, mega hot fucking Paris Hilton nurse walks in. And she's like, I have a suppository bullet for you. I have 3 of them. But I'm not going to give you the first one. I'm like, well, nobody wants to get in there, man. We've been getting down with a little bit of Burger King lately. So they stick the, I'm sorry. I stick the first bullet in there. And then I go to leave, right? In order to leave the hospital, they got to hook that shit up to your arm. So they hook that shit up to my arm. They're like, your heart rate's still 7,500 over 10. You know what I mean? So I knew I was going to be able to leave for a while. So I remember, like, I waited like 15 minutes. Like, you have to wait till your heart rate calms down. So I remember walking up to, like, the curtains and, like, I felt so good. Open up the fucking curtains and, like, I ran out the fucking door, called up a cab. I had the cab on Google. I'm like, I'm at fucking South Good Sam fucking hospital. Come pick me up. Come pick me up. The nurse was outside. You can't leave. You can't leave. You gotta sign shit. So long story short, I ended up going in the hospital and, like, signing off all this shit to say that I'm okay. So I go outside and, like, the cab driver comes to pick me up and it's like this predator-looking African-American chick, and she's like, where are you going? I'm like, well, I'm going home, man. I'm going to West Iceland. Guess who doesn't have anal herpes? This guy! She's, oh my God. It's like, are you going to come take bong hits with me? So she said no, and she ended up giving me a ride home, and that was it. That's my anal herpes story. Boom. What's up?